So you've been fired from your medical coding job, and what are you going to do now? Hey there, I'm Victoria Mole, and I'm here to talk to you about what to do if you get fired from your medical coding job. It's not the end of the world, but it can feel like it at the time. In this video, I'm going to go over some steps to help you get back on your feet and not let this one bump in the road get in the way of your goals. First and foremost, if you're getting let go from your job, it's very hard, but you have to stay emotionally composed. You don't want to burn bridges or give them any reason to provide bad feedback if any other employers ask them how things were when you were working there, or other coworkers that you might potentially have ask your previous coworkers, because a lot of people are connected in medical coding. It's a very small world. So thank them for the opportunity that you had during your employment and all of the things that you learned, and let them know that you wish them luck in their future endeavors with the company. When you move forward and you're interviewing for other positions at different companies, don't speak bad of them. Even if it was the worst job you've ever had, even if your old boss was the biggest B, make sure that you have some sort of scripted spin on it. Say that maybe you and your boss just weren't seeing eye to eye. It was clear it wasn't a good fit anymore, and so you are no longer working with that organization. And now you're just looking for a new opportunity that's going to be a better environment and where you can showcase your skills and be of better service. I have had past coworkers try to pull me into company drama, or say things like, oh, well, this company, I know you didn't like them too, and now, they blacklisted me, or they're trying to pull me into some sort of phony harassment scheme that they conjured up in their head. And it's actually made me not want to ever work with those people. I hope I kind of don't see them again, because I don't want to get pulled into that kind of level of drama. Now, once we've gotten our emotional things settled, we also have to make sure that we are getting our affairs in order. So if this is a huge financial hit for you, you might need to consider things like, are there lenders that you need to contact and inform them that you no longer have an active job? Do you have a spouse or a partner that you need to go onto their health care or dental care plans? Are you going to need to find out the cost of COBRA coverage? What about your kids' coverage? Are they able to pick something up maybe from the state? And even things like checking your bank accounts, making sure that you're set there, or are you going to have to, shuffle some money around? Are there maybe stocks that you're going to have to cash out? And if you're not prepared, you're going to have to learn from this. So what can you do to maybe be better prepared next time? Maybe this is that instance where you realize that, oh my gosh, I've only ever had a life insurance policy through my employer. Now, if something were to happen to me and I'm not employed with them anymore, I don't have a policy anymore. So that might be that time that you need to make a note to yourself, like, hey, once I get back on my feet, I need to purchase an independent life insurance policy. And maybe not even just a life insurance policy for you, but for your family members, if God forbid anything was to happen to them. Now, once we've kind of settled our emotional, our financial, personal things, we really have to evaluate and kind of take that deep look inside and kind of figure out what was the root problem. Because it's very likely that it wasn't a personal thing. So was it something that you need to work on yourself? Or was it truly something that was wrong with the company? Was it just not a good fit? Was it a communication? Maybe it was even just like poor company performance. They had to make some cutbacks. So really think about, is this something that you can strengthen yourself on, build yourself so that you can protect yourself from this not happening again? Or was it something really truly with the company? And if it was the company, was it something that was truly illegal and you are going to want to pursue that? Because chances are good, whichever way you cut it, it's going to be a lot of time and energy invested. And of course, workplace regulations aside, one of the things that comes to the forefront specifically for the medical coding industry is qui tam. So qui tam is that whistleblower regulation stating that someone who reports false claims that are reported to federal services like Medicare, and they go through the legal proceedings and they find out that yes, in fact, this organization did screw Medicare out of a ton of money, that person who blew the whistle can be entitled up to like 30% of what's taken back. So if you're considering whistleblowing, is this something that you're just being vengeful, or is it going to really be worth that grueling legal battle? Whichever way you cut it, it will likely come out that you were the one that blew the whistle. It's not going to be a private thing and you just get shuffled money on the back end. So when that comes out, it really can have an impact on others wanting to work with you in the future. Now let's talk about making yourself more valuable. One of the things you're going to have to do now that you don't have that position anymore is update your resume. A lot of people don't think about keeping their resumes up to date until they end their position. I actually like to do mine almost on a couple of months basis. Like if there's something new that I've done, make sure I add that into my resume, or a position change. It's important to keep your resume updated. You never know when someone's even going to ask for it while you're still employed. So you can use resources out there like projectresume.net and have your resume formatted specifically for medical coders so that they put in all of that information that will help you in the searches that recruiters are doing for medical coding positions, and make sure that your resume is coming into those searches that they're doing. But other than that, what are the things that you can do to make yourself more valuable? If you weren't certified in medical coding, that's definitely something you're going to want to do, because a lot of those employers, they want to see that certification, specifically the CPC or maybe even the CCS. I highly recommend that you sign up for my medical coding masterclass. You can see the link in the description below. So if you are looking to get specific training for medical coding, you want to get certified, go to the medical coding masterclass. It will give you that full roadmap of, oh, I'm not someone who's trained or certified really in medical coding, to, oh, now I'm job ready as a medical coder in as little as 6 months. It's just a really good program. It definitely has my stamp of approval, so you can find out about Preppy, which checks all the boxes for what I think you need to do to get trained and certified in medical coding. So just go to Medical Coding Masterclass and check that out. But aside from, if you haven't been certified, you need to get certified. Maybe you need an additional credential. Maybe you want to get certified in billing and coding, so you can go to AAPC and get training on that. Or maybe this is a good time to just really catch up on your CEUs, read through Healthcare Business Monthly, look at whatever free trainings you can get through maybe different local chapters. It's definitely the time to network and get to your local chapter and start working with other people in your area that might know of job openings. Oh, and check out the CEU hit list. You can find it at medicalcodinggeek.com. Brian Quee updates it every month with different free CEU continuing education unit opportunities so that you don't have to spend a lot of money on your continuing ed. Plus, it will sound a lot better than when you start having interviews and they ask you questions like, oh, well, what are you doing to stay up to date on all the coding knowledge while you currently aren't working as a coder? You can say, oh, well, I've been reading Healthcare Business Monthly. I've been doing all this education. I've been going to chapter meetings. That's going to sound a lot better than, I don't know, I've just been sitting around looking for a job, right? Now, the last thing I want to plug, I am very passionate about, and that is the AAPC Hardship Fund. The AAPC Hardship Fund was developed by officers and members of the AAPC years ago when Katrina hit, and what it does is we fundraise, we pool all of this money to contribute to the Hardship Fund for people who are in poor situations where maybe they need a little bit of assistance paying for their membership dues, or maybe even getting a coding book. You have to be a certified member of the AAPC. It's not going to cover for like you to get your CPC training. It's not like a scholarship or a grant program. It's also not going to pay for you to get an extra credential or continuing ed units, but it is there for members. I will link it below because if you are in need, you can apply to the Hardship Fund with the AAPC. So you've gotten fired. It's not the end of the world. I've gotten fired before. If I hadn't gotten fired, I wouldn't have found my way into medical coding. It may not feel like it, but in the long run, it could be the best thing that ever happened to you. Especially if you're really awesome and they are the ones that in fact suck. So a few things to keep in mind as you are going through your job search. First and foremost, don't panic, really calm yourself and focus on getting back on your feet. Make that list of what you need to do. What are the actionable tasks that you have to do? Is there anyone you need to contact? Is it your resume that needs to get updated? Make yourself a nice little checklist and then you'll feel real good as you're like checking things off. It might even be that you need to go out for coffee with your best friend just to vent about it. And finally, stay positive and focus on the future. It is so frustrating, but it doesn't have to define you and it does not have to define your future success. So I hope this helped. I wish you lots of luck in your future job search. If you need job search tips, you can check out this video right here. I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, just keep on coding on.